They have to, on a sheet of paper for homework, write out 3 potential questions using those grammar points that they would ask the other person. And they bring those to class a day or 2 before we do this. And then, I collect them really quick. And while they're doing another activity, I kind of look over to make sure they're all on the same page. Oh, and also to make sure that the questions are appropriate. Like, I always frame it, don't ask a question you're not comfortable answering, right? And so then I put them in groups of 2 and I hand them back their sheets and I say, okay, now you can use these as prompts, right? But I don't want you reading, okay? Because you can't read in real life, right? The prep, I think, helped them be less nervous. I also have a list of, like a kind of FYI list that I send out about how to say cool, or how to say, remind them to say, I agree, and things like that. So they have a very short, it's only about 10 words because I don't want to bog them down with vocabulary and get away from using the dictionary, but just so they can go, okay, you're talking to somebody in Latin America, chévere, right? If you're talking to somebody in Spain, guay, and then, so they go, they do the conversation, they come back feeling relieved. Usually I do 2 conversations and I do them about halfway through the semester and then one right at the end of the semester, the 30-minute ones. Literally, I just want you to practice listening here. I know they go fast, which is why you're going to have to rewind, and I teach them how to scrub it. And I tell them, yeah, you're going to have to listen to this several times. That's normal. I want your brain to get used to hearing it and processing it. What could this person be saying that makes sense grammatically? So, yeah. Then I will have them go back and like you said, I have them pick. Now they have to, if they do not answer or ask those questions during the conversation, they're not going to be able to do the follow-up work. So I make sure that's very clear. They have to guide the conversation, which is a social skill. They not only need to know in English, they also need to know in other languages. And so they go back and they choose one of each of those grammar points, write down what they ended up saying, and write down what the person responded. And then if the person asked a follow-up question, what they in turn responded. And so the transcription part, because that takes a long time, that's usually the homework for that night, because it can take up to an hour for a lot of them to do that. And that's basically how I use it. And then as we move on, further in the semester, of course, the grammar points get a little more advanced, or they need to use several grammar points at the same time, that sort of thing. So the whole course is worth maybe about 1,000 points. And the pre-activity is worth, I think, 15 to 20 points. Doing the actual conversation is worth 20 points. And then the follow-up is also 20 points. So it ends up being a big portion because the exams, I think, are only 100 points each, and the final exam is 200 points. So it ends up being a significant chunk. They want to do well on this because they all think they deserve an A. So I say you will receive full credit, 20 points for your conversation. If you complete it during the assigned time, you fully cover the given topic that we practiced, okay? You show effort, okay? Not a lot of silence, not a lot of just expecting the partner to do the talking, okay? You try to talk as much as possible during the 30 minutes. And I mentioned, if you let your partner talk the entire time, and some can be chatty because they're nervous too, so you may need to interrupt with perdona or puedo or necesito hablar or no recibo crédito, things to kind of get them back on track. If you use any English, if you read from something you've written down or from Google Translator, which is very obvious when you do so, or if there are long pauses where you're no longer making an effort or it's obvious you're doing something else, points will be taken off.